I'm bigcal and welcome to my world. Today another recent video games pickups video, and today it is Nintendo consoles. In the past one I did Nintendo Handheld, so check that out. I'll link it somewhere down below, up here somewhere, wherever YouTube lets me. Check that one out. But yeah, today is Nintendo consoles. So we'll start up with the first Nintendo console, the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. Yes, and we have Protector. Unsure what this is? If you're outside of the UK, it is Contra. It is Contra, but for some reason it's not Contra for us, because you see, in Contra you shoot human beings. Ooh, can't do that in Europe. Oh no, got to have it being robots or aliens or something. Robot aliens, yeah. So they changed it round and gave it a different name for whatever reason. Why it couldn't have still been called Contra, but they just changed the enemies to robots. Who knows? But either way, it is super duper fun, side scrolling, shoot 'em up action that you would expect. It is Contra. Very, very happy to finally own a physical edition of this. I don't own a physical edition of any other Contra. No, I own Contra 3 Alien Wars on the Super Nintendo, yeah. But I never owned the original before, so that's always cool to have. Skipping the Super Nintendo at the moment, unfortunately, moving to the N64, we have Lego Racers. So it is a basically a kart style racing game where you got power-ups and things like that, but the main sort of appeal with this game is that you can build your own kart. I believe you unlock parts and things as you go along. I haven't got that far in it yet. I've just had a few races just to test it out. Very, very fun. Controls pretty well. I usually hear that the N64 version is better than the PS1 version. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but I got the N64 version first anyway. So yeah, it's a really fun game, and power-ups and things, you have 3 different coloured blocks that you run over. I think one's like an offensive weapon, one's a defensive, and one's like a boost or something. But if you then run over the same colour block while you still have one stored, it will improve it, so it'll basically upgrade it. So you might have one missile and that'll get upgraded to a triple missile, for example. So that's a really cool thing about the game. So Lego Racers. And I also picked up a new memory card, or controller pack as they're known as. This one's got a little sticker on the front. And what's special about this is it's been modded for FRAM. Basically, your saves will never die. Yeah, so the problem with original controller packs is that after a while they would die because they had a battery to save them, and like with cartridges and things like that, once the battery goes you have to replace it, and any save that was on there is gone forever unless you have a way of backing it up. So I did last year or the year before, I actually bought the parts to mod my own with an FRAM chip, and unfortunately it did not go very well, so I just decided, sod it, I'll buy one pre-done. So yeah, really cool to have. Skipping the GameCube to the Nintendo Wii, and we have Death Jr. Root of Evil. The first Death Jr. game was, I believe, an exclusive to the PSP, and you play as Death Jr., the son of Death, and he's in school because he's just a kid. Yeah, and it's basically a 3D platformer, action-based, where you have attacks and things like that. This is the sequel. The sequel came out on PSP as well, and then the Wii. The Wii version does have some motion controls. It's not too bad. It's mainly just for, you can use it for certain attacks. You can swipe and things like that, so that's fine. It controls really well. The camera's better than I was expecting it to be, because I'd heard some bad things about that. Perfectly fine for me, and I ended up playing about an hour of it when I was testing footage because I was having that much fun. So really good game, and very, very overlooked. I never hear anyone talk about the Death Jr. games. Big shame. Skipping another generation out, since we're doing every other gen, because we're skipping the Wii U and moving to the Nintendo Switch. So firstly, I have a instruction manual for Luigi's Mansion 3. Okay, I don't have the game with me at the moment because I lent it to my friends. They're playing through it in 2-player mode and having a blast. But I didn't drop anything, you saw nothing. Yeah, so in the past I've got one for Super Mario Odyssey and 3D All-Stars, and from the same person on Etsy that also does one for a couple of the Zelda games, I think. Yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3, and it is fantastic. Full colour and everything. Beautifully done, nicely printed. Yeah, very, very happy with that. It's just nice, you know, for really fun games that I like on the Switch. It's awesome to be able to complete them, sort of thing, and have an instruction manual with them, because, God forbid, companies actually do them themselves. Right, Switch games now. We have one from one of my all-time favourite series. Already own this on the PS4, but got it on the Switch as well, because I was going to get it on the Switch anyway. Trails of Cold Steel 4 from the Legend of Heroes series. The final game in the Cold Steel series, although I believe the next one that's coming out, Trails into Reverie, is essentially the follow-up to this, and it carries on more from Cold Steel than it does being a brand new game. But yeah, big fan of this game. It does tie up a ton of stuff from the series. So it isn't like, oh, Cold Steel 4 is not the last one because Into Reverie, you know, carries on some things. But no, this does, you know, close a lot of the chapters in the game. Fantastic. The Frontline edition, which came with digital soundtrack and a little, what do you call it, art book and things called the Black Records there. Reversible cover. Yeah, I do own the special edition up here somewhere. Yeah, you can't see it on camera, but yeah, I did an unboxing of that anyway. So got it on the Switch, great to play in portable mode, had a blast playing through it again. I just hope that they do eventually do a patch for it, because there is a bit of an issue still now. This has been out since April, March or April time, and there is still a bug where the trial chests in the game don't have all the text, so you don't know which characters you need for them, what level you need to be at for them, or what gets upgraded once you complete them. It's all missing. So apparently they are working on it, but yeah, it's not out yet, which is a bit of a shame. Now we have Paper Mario The Origami King. Continuation of the Paper Mario series, and this one, I've played through this and completed it just recently, and it's excellent in so many ways. It's got a fun and interesting story with a unique character. The whole origami thing is really well done. The visuals are stunning, the music's great, character writing is good. While you don't have the companions that you do in some of the older games, there are a couple in there, even if they're just there for a chapter or two. Still really fun. Boss battles, very unique, even if a lot of them are, again, stationary. There's a great thing where you can get a boat and just go sailing around this massive ocean, finding islands, going down in a submarine looking for hidden treasure. Awesome, awesome stuff. But the regular battles are the most boring shit ever. So I'm sure you've seen the ring system that they created, where you have enemies in different parts of a ring, and you can move it around that way, or you can move it that way and things, and you have to essentially try and solve a puzzle to get them in the most optimal place to do the most damage to the most enemies. And it can be satisfying when you get it done. However, it just gets so boring after the first few, because all you earn from it is coins. Yeah, there's no experience, no leveling system in the game, unfortunately. So battles are just kind of meaningless, because coins are everywhere. They are everywhere on the overworld and the map, and just as you're going around, there are coins everywhere. You do not need to do battles for coins, and most of the time you get bugger all anyway. And half the time I use the coins to automate the ring system. You can call on some toads to help that you rescue throughout the game, and they'll solve the ring puzzle for you. Yeah, so didn't enjoy that. If they added experience and a levelling system to the game, I wouldn't mind as much, because then you'd have a reason to do the battles, otherwise they're just completely pointless. The boss battles use the ring system, but they all have their own unique way of working, and that's a hell of a lot better and more interesting, so I was fine with that. It's just the regular battles. Luckily you can avoid a lot of them, so that's good, but yeah, the ones that you have to do, boring and crappy. But the rest of the game is fantastic. If they just fixed that issue, we'd have another classic Paper Mario game. It would be remembered with the best of them. But as such, it just falls short of what it could have been. But aside from that, like I said, you can avoid most of those battles. The rest of it is absolutely fantastic. I had a blast playing through it. And lastly for games, we have limited run Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game complete edition. This comes with DLC and things. So originally this came out on the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live Arcade or whatever, or just Xbox Live, digital only. I've never seen the film, still haven't, so I had no reason to go looking up this kind of game when I got my PS3. And then by the time everyone started talking about how good it was already removed from the store, because licensing and IPs and things, they only had it for so long, blah 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 blah. So you couldn't get it anymore without modding your system and stuff, and I don't want to mod my PS3. So I was disappointed, because it looked like a really fun 2D beat 'em up game. And then thankfully Limited Run were able to get the license or whatever, or whoever, Ubisoft and Universal finally got together and said, yeah, let's do it for the anniversary of the film. Got a physical release, it's digital now as well on all modern systems. Yeah, I made sure to get a physical release. Of course, with Limited Run you get reversible cover, get a little card, nice little replica of some ticket for something, I don't know, and an instruction manual, which is also awesome looking. Kind of looks like a Super Nintendo instruction manual, so that's really cool. And the game is awesome fun. It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up, and it's kind of similar to River City Ransom. So yeah, you go around, beat people up, you can collect coins and money and things, and you can go into shops and buy items and whatnot. And of course, each boss is the ex-boyfriends or whatever that you have to fight in the film. I only have basic knowledge of what it's actually about, but I played the first level, beat the first boss, and had a blast doing that. So the last thing I want to show off, not a game, but it is Nintendo game related. It is an amiibo based on the Super Smash Bros. Character. I don't own that many amiibos. In fact, do I have any here? No. Okay. I don't own many amiibos. I've got Yarn Yoshi with Yoshi's Woolly World, Yarn Poochie with the 3DS version, and then I think after that it's just the ones that came in the Animal Crossing. Just hold on a second. I'll try and have a look. Yeah, the Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. I bought it because it was £5. Big box, came with the game. Comes with like 2 or 3 amiibo and amiibo cards, unopened, but it's there because it was cool. It was cheap. Yeah, so I don't own that many amiibos. I don't use them for anything, so it's like, what's the point? But there are a few I want to collect, and this was one of them. It is Hero from Dragon Quest XI, because of course I adore that game. It is fantastic. I own it 3 times now. Yeah, so I of course bought the character DLC for Smash Bros. Ultimate on the Switch, and I figured I will get the amiibo for him as well, since it was nice and cheap. I got it on offer, and There are a couple of other amiibos I do want to pick up. I wouldn't mind the Banjo-Kazooie one, because I also bought the DLC for that. Maybe the Bayonetta one, just because it is cool when you get non-Nintendo characters showing up. And I know Bayonetta is on Nintendo, is in Nintendo games, but yeah, they're not owned by Nintendo. At least I don't think Bayonetta. It's confusing now. What is the Bayonetta thing? I think Nintendo might do. But yeah, anyway. Dragon Quest 11 Hero, Erdrick, whatever you want to call him. Nice amiibo. The only thing is, I think his sword is bent. Let's see if I can show it off decently in here. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, his sword is bent. I don't think it's supposed to be like that, but I'm not that fussed. It still looks awesome, so yeah, that's an amiibo. Well, I'm bigcal. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of my pickups here for Nintendo consoles, and I'll see you again next time.